Aryna Sabalenka reveals biggest regret after losing to Elena Rybakina at the Australian Open. Aryna Sabalenka walked into the Australian Open final carrying the weight of expectation, and with good reason. The world number one had been nearly untouchable on hard courts, dominating opponents with her power, aggression, and growing mental resilience. Yet after 2 hours and 18 minutes of punishing, high-octane tennis in Melbourne, it was Elena Rybakina who emerged victorious, capturing the second Grand Slam title of her career and once again proving she is one of the most dangerous players on the biggest stage. For Sabalenka, the loss was painful, not just because of the trophy that slipped away, but because of how close she came to turning the match in her favor. Speaking candidly in her post-match press conference, the Belarusian star reflected on the fine margins that defined the final and revealed the biggest regret she carried off Rod Laver Arena, a final decided by moments. Not momentum on paper, Sabalenka entered the final as the favorite. Her recent record on hard courts at Grand Slams was staggering. 46 wins in her last 48 matches, an almost unheard-of level of consistency at the elite level. She had looked composed, confident, and destructive throughout the tournament, overwhelming opponents with her serve and first-strike tennis. But finals rarely follow logic, and Rybakina once again showed her ability to rise in the biggest moments. From the opening games, the match was a heavyweight exchange, with both players trading thunderous ground strokes and fearless serves. Neither blinked early, but as the match wore on, the momentum swung violently, sometimes within a single game. That volatility is what Sabalenka pointed to when discussing her regrets. I don't know if I have any regrets. Maybe I should have tried to be more aggressive on my serve, knowing that I have a break and put pressure on her. But she played incredible. She made some winners. I made a couple of forced errors, Sabalenka said. Her words captured the essence of the contest, a match where initiative mattered, where even a brief lapse could cost an entire set. The turning point that still hurts, if there was one moment Sabalenka seemed to replay in her mind, it was a stretch that unfolded almost too quickly to comprehend. Holding a commanding 3-0 lead, the world number one appeared to be in control, dictating play and forcing Rybakina onto the defensive. But in elite tennis, control is fragile. So of course I have regrets when you lead 3-love, and then it felt like in few seconds it was 3-4 and I was down with the break, so it was very fast, Sabalenka admitted. Great tennis from her, maybe not so smart for me. That sequence proved decisive. Rybakina raised her level, attacking Sabalenka's second serve and stepping inside the baseline with ruthless intent. Sabalenka, by her own admission, may have missed the chance to press harder when she had the advantage. Against a player of Rybakina's caliber, hesitation, even for a moment, can be fatal. Respect for a worthy champion despite the disappointment, Sabalenka was quick to credit her opponent. Rybakina's calm demeanor, clean ball striking, and ice-cold composure under pressure have become trademarks of her game. Once again, she demonstrated why she thrives in Grand Slam finals. Sabalenka acknowledged that the outcome was not simply about her mistakes, but about Rybakina's brilliance. She played incredible. She made some winners, Sabalenka said, striking a balanced tone that reflected both honesty and sportsmanship. It was not the first time the two had met in an Australian Open final, and the parallels were impossible to ignore. Echoes of the 2023 final, the 2026 final, seemed to mirror their 2023 showdown in uncanny ways. Back then, Sabalenka lost the opening set before roaring back to claim the title with a 6-3, 6-4 finish in the next two sets. That comeback had been a defining moment in her career, cementing her reputation as one of the toughest competitors on tour. This time, however, the script flipped. Instead of Sabalenka seizing control late, it was Rybakina who refused to let the moment slip. She absorbed the pressure, trusted her weapons, and closed the door with authority. For Sabalenka, the familiarity of the situation may have made the loss even harder to digest. She had been in this exact arena against the same opponent and had once found a way through. This time, the margins didn't fall her way. Perspective threw pain in one of the most revealing moments of her press conference. Sabalenka reflected on the emotional roller coaster that defines a professional tennis career. As I say today, I'm a loser. Maybe tomorrow I'm a winner. Maybe again a loser. Hopefully not. It was a raw and honest admission, one that stripped away the invincibility often associated with a world #1 ranking. Sabalenka's words underscored a deeper truth about elite sport. Success and failure often live side by side, separated by a handful of points, a few decisions, or a moment of hesitation, but a loss that doesn't define her legacy while the defeat stung. It did little to diminish Sabalenka's standing in the game. Her recent dominance on hard courts remains remarkable, and her consistency at Grand Slams is a testament to how far she has evolved. Not just as a power hitter, but as a competitor capable of sustaining excellence. Losses like this, especially in finals, often become fuel rather than scars. Sabalenka has shown time and again that she learns quickly, adapts ruthlessly, and returns stronger. If anything, her willingness to openly analyze her regrets suggests a champion already looking ahead. What comes next for Elena Rybakina? The victory further solidifies her place among the elite and strengthens a rivalry that is fast becoming one of the defining matchups in women's tennis. For Aryna Sabalenka, the Australian Open final will linger, but not as a symbol of failure. Instead, it will stand as a reminder of how thin the line is at the top, and how even the most dominant players must seize every moment when it presents itself. With her form, mindset, and hunger still firmly intact, it would surprise no one if Sabalenka soon finds herself back in another Grand Slam final, this time ready to turn regret into redemption.